You looking for this?
Welcome back to BoomShot. I'm Kel. This is
Yes,
Colby,
sir.
and the day is here. Ahsoka episode 1 and 2 is finally out, and this feels amazing.
It does.
Yeah, we've got a lot of thoughts about this show, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into the video, starting now. Okay, so always the question we usually ask is, what'd you think?
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It almost brought a tear to my eye. Seeing all the old Rebels characters, locations, it is beautiful.
Yeah, I think my general impression is Star Wars. It just
Yeah,
it
very
feels
Star
like
Wars.
Star Wars, even though with the way it opened, it felt like Star Wars. It opens with the kind of the opening crawl, and then it transitions to the space in the ship. So that felt very George Lucas-esque, Star Wars movie-esque, which already makes me think they're treating this more, not seriously, but they're treating it more in a Star Wars manner than past shows. So, not to say that past shows have been bad, but just this particular show is treating it like a movie almost. Like this is a movie series.
Yeah, I mean, it just, everything about it very Star Wars. And I think that's something Dave Filoni takes very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, this is great, dude. I enjoyed every second of it. It was incredible.
Yeah, I think the thing that shocked me the most is the transition from animation to live action. Like, not only does everything look good, but the characters act just like they act in animation. Like, there were some lines where Sabine was saying stuff, and I was like, dude, I hear her saying that. I hear her animation voice and her live action voice saying that at the same exact time. Like, I can hear it in both ways. And Ahsoka, obviously, there was like one time, which Ahsoka, for some reason, Rosario Dawson gets a lot of hate, but I don't really understand why that's warranted.
No, yeah, I think she does an incredible job. Yeah, I mean, I think every character has made a pretty smooth transition into live action.
Yeah,
and shout out to Chopper, dude.
Heck, dude,
I mean,
Chopper's probably been the best transition from animation to live action.
Yeah, I saw where the only difference is that like his head can move like up and like pivot a little bit instead of just side to side. Which was pretty cool. I mean, and he still got the arm motions. He was flexing on them.
Yeah.
And he's been spun the tracker on there. What a legend, dude.
Yeah, I don't know, just every character, I feel like I don't know, Hera probably is the only ambiguous one, I would say, because not that Hera doesn't act a specific way, but we just didn't see her as much as we saw. We did see her a lot, but just her lines were all kind of like basic. There didn't really have to be much personality behind the line, I guess.
You mean in the first two episodes?
Yeah, in the first
she
two
wasn't
episodes. Obviously in Rebels, she had a lot of, like, a huge role, but...
Yeah, she wasn't as featured as Sabine and Ahsoka, where I feel like they're kind of going to be the two main characters this season.
Yeah, which I'm really excited to see. I'm excited to see a Master and Apprentice back at it. It's been a while since we've seen that kind of story, and I feel like it's the only proper way to go with Ahsoka ever since... like this show is going to be themed around her, the falling out that she had with Anakin, and like we were talking about in our Ahsoka countdown, how she's carrying that past that she had with Anakin with her, and she always has that part of her with her, which means that Anakin's legacy lives on through her. Yeah. And I hopefully we get to see kind of the Anakin Ahsoka dynamic with Ahsoka and Sabine.
Yeah, we already got it mentioned a little bit when Hera was talking about that to Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed that sequence. You could just even see in Rosario Dawson's eyes the way she acted with her eyes in that scene. I thought was really good. So I don't know. Yeah, I think they even just referenced it in this episode, even though we haven't really seen any training yet. So I think they'll definitely make that parallel.
Yeah, hopefully we get to see kind of a Tales of the Jedi-esque again. I watched that scene the other day. Dude, it's so good. It really is so good. Yeah. But that's kind of like our general impressions about the show. Is it feels very Star Warsy, but it did have some different some elements in there that we're not used to seeing in Star Wars. Notably, like when Sabine's on the freeway and it's playing that like fast-paced rock music. We don't really see that much in Star Wars, so that was kind of like a new element they threw in there. So it's differentiating a little bit, but it's also sticking to its roots.
Yeah, I think like all of the characters. Were very accurate, but yeah, I think, naturally there's going to be growth with these characters, so we might see some different things. I mean, we haven't seen Ezra in a long time, dude, and he may not show up really much in this show, but it's going to be interesting seeing him show up and what he's going to be like, because I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah, that's the whole thing I don't get with Ahsoka too, about how like characters grow. The last time we saw Ahsoka, I mean, I know we saw her in Mandalorian. We also saw her in Book of Boba Fett. But the last time we really saw Ahsoka was Rebels, and that was 20-something years ago at this point, or probably 10, 15 years ago at this point. So, you know, the older you get, the more serious, more serious you get. Yeah. And so that's why I think it's natural that she seems to be more serious about things than she was, you know, whenever she was in Clone Wars. She still acts the same, but she's just got a more serious tone to her.
And even in Season 7 and in Rebels, she was more stoic, I guess, or you know what I mean. Yeah. But I think you can still see, you know, the inner snips come out, like that little smirk she had in this episode. Mm-hmm. So it's still Ahsoka, but like we've been saying, you know, characters grow. Yeah. I don't think she really, you know, like her character hasn't drastically changed, but it's just character development.
Yeah, I mean, as you get older, it's just true that you get more serious about things, and you still keep your inner personality, but just the way you go about it changes. And so I'm definitely really excited to see her moving forward. I'm excited to see Sabine moving forward. What do you think about the action in this? You know, because Star Wars, it's just as much about, you know, character development and world building as it is action. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought the action was really good, man. I mean, I think we've just got a little taste of what the lightsaber fights are going to be like. And we got like, what, 3 or 4 in already? Yeah. And so I think, we're going to get tons of lightsaber fights. I mean, we got to see Hera, one of the best pilots in the galaxy, evade some shots there for a while. I thought that was a cool sequence. Yeah. I thought the action was great. I mean, I think it's just really the beginning. I think it's going to get even better.
Yeah, and again, the fight on Corellia with that random Inquisitor person and Ahsoka versus the droid, like that, people were complaining about how this choreography kind of seemed slow, but mainly the complaint was with the world surrounding it, like how it was basically colorless. But for anybody who was saying the choreography was slow, like I don't know where they got that from. It's way better than anything I saw in the sequels. No offense, but
I mean the sequels had some good fight scenes.
Yeah, I think Crate was the best one they had. Either that one or on Death Star 2 in the water.
Yeah, I mean the sequels had some good fight scenes, but I think, you know, again, Dave Filoni is just very meticulous. Yeah, he said in that our part 1 of the Ahsoka countdown, like fans can tell the difference. So he doesn't want to just put something out there for us to watch. He wants to put something out there that we enjoy watching.
Yeah, and I could tell, like, it did feel prequel-esque to me. Like, the movements, the pace of the lightsaber fights, which I was really excited about. And obviously, Ahsoka's just this very seasoned Jedi at this point.
She was going ham.
Yeah, it's just, she should beat everybody pretty handily at this point. And she does, pretty much. She doesn't even struggle against the Inquisitor. She's kind of just toying with him, and you can see that. She allows him to escape pretty much. And I don't know. I think that's really cool to see. What do you think about the CGI?
I mean, I thought it was good, man. I mean, it definitely did not take me out of the show at all. Yeah. Especially considering this is a show, and, you know, that's just a lot of CGI in general. I think they did very well.
I think they did well too, man. It looked so good. Probably some of the best I've ever seen in Star Wars. Might be the best I've ever seen in Star Wars, other than them using like live sets for some planets that look more like Earth. But it looks great. I'm trying to think of some more. I guess we can talk about briefly, where do you think the show's going to be headed from here? It ends with, I guess we should talk about where it ends. It ends with Sabine and Ahsoka going to find the map. So what do you think? What do you think we see from here?
So we saw Thrawn in the trailers a decent bit. We really didn't see Ezra at all. But I mean, I assume they're, you know, still together. Mm-hmm. And the map leads to both of them. So I'm wondering if there's a way that only they break Thrawn out only and Ezra's still trapped, which would be heartbreaking. Yeah. And then maybe at the end they get Ezra out, and that's how the season ends. I don't know. Because, I mean, Thrawn is confirmed to be the next big bad, I think. Mm-hmm. So, which is I'm hyped about. But, so I think he's definitely... My main question is he going to get out, like, mid-season or at the end?
I hope not the end. I hope he's out by mid-season.
Yeah, because, I mean, we already have a couple established villains in this season already. But, yeah, I'm wondering if, like, they're going to set him up midway through or at the end for the future. But
yeah, it kind of makes me wish that Moff Gideon wasn't dead. I would love to see Moff Gideon and Thrawn work together, and because Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati are gonna be the kind of the main villains. I feel like Ahsoka's gonna get to Thrawn, but not in time. Pretty much, I think Thrawn's gonna be working throughout the middle of the season, but I don't think Ahsoka's gonna get to him in time.
Yeah, and it could be kind of like a mirror of Rebels in that way. Like they had to get through the Inquisitor in season 1, and then Thrawn shows up.
Yeah.
So they may have to get through these Inquisitors and then get to Thrawn at the end. So I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully we figure it out, and it may be a season 2. I know Dave Filoni's also going to make a movie, so we'll see what all happens. But the show's got a lot of room moving forward. I think they set it up very well, leaving it pretty open ended. I'm very interested to learn more about Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati, which is not been common these days for villains. Villains haven't been very dynamic recently in Star Wars.
Yeah.
So minus Moff Gideon, I would say he's like the only exception.
And we already saw a little bit of like their lightsaber history,
which
I thought was cool. So I think we'll get flashbacks of them, which would be sick. I love a good flashback to them in the temple or something, or at least Baylan in the temple, or maybe Baylan training Shin Hati. I don't know. There's a lot of potential there, and I think they'll go into it.
Yeah, and then the last thing, maybe we do see Sexy Rexy.
I was about to bring that up, dude. I hope we do, or even like a Anakin voiceover flashback from the Clone Wars. I think they're gonna pull something like that out.
Yeah, they have to. It's Ahsoka's story, and as much as it is fan service, it's also really it's a big part of her story.
Crucial.
Yeah,
it's absolutely crucial.
You can't have Ahsoka without Anakin, and well, you can, but she's grown out of that. But like we said earlier in the video, carries part of her legacy is part of Anakin's legacy.
Yeah, and I think maybe she'll like if we do have a voiceover, it'll like show her training, which would be sick, dude. Like a Clone Wars era Ahsoka live action training with the Anakin voiceover. When she's trying to like think of what to do to train Sabine or something. Yeah,
and then she just takes it. Yeah, she's reminded of the lessons from her master, who is the greatest Jedi of all time. Dare I say?
Dude, what if we do get Moff Gideon? Because the rumor is that, or I guess a theory going around is that he was the one that died was a clone.
Yeah.
So what if he's just like chilling, plotting with?
Dude,
Thrawn?
I need to see Gus Fring back. I'm not gonna lie. I need to see Gus Fring back. I feel like he was kind of done dirty.
You've seen him die twice this year. Man.
Yeah.
That's
R.I.P.
tough,
dude. R.I.P. Yeah, I'm watching Breaking Bad. So anyway, we really enjoyed these 2 episodes. I think it was smart to open up with 2. Although I feel like if they had just left it at 1, I would have been okay.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's just everything about this show has been done so well. I think moving it to a more primetime spot was smart.
Such a good idea. Such a good idea.
At least for us, in
covering
America. Yeah, and us covering it. I don't know what time it'll be for other countries. But, everything around this show just has me excited.
Yeah, for sure. And that pretty much wraps up our initial impressions. We'll try to do more of a more detailed video next week, but since it was 2 episodes, we kind of got started late, so we were kind of just going to throw out our opinions on the show. You got anything else?
Yeah, I think we'll see. I think at this point, an Anakin voiceover, I don't know. I feel like Rex is going to happen.
Yeah.
Maybe a Rex and Anakin will be in the same flashback, dude.
That would be sick.
Rex would be very old at this point.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I hope we see both of them. That'd be sick.
But that's our thoughts. Let us know what you guys think. Did you like the episode? Are you excited? And thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.